Come Saturday, I'm gonna scenario.
Hey man, are you serious right now?
Welcome to another episode of the DMV Sports and Show. Today I have Gerald Bocar, one of the boxing experts in the area. Gerald is here to co-host the show with me today. Briefly, before we go into the show, Gerald is going to talk a little bit about the tragedy we had in the Philippines yesterday. So Gerald, how are you doing and what's going on in your world?
Thank you, CB, for having me here at the DMV Sports Zone. He mentioned that I was a boxing expert. I'm not a boxing expert. A big boxing fan, and I've dabbled in boxing. Did a little bit of an amateur career, but it wasn't too successful. But thank you again for asking about the Philippines. Actually, the storm Yolanda hit yesterday in my hometown, Eastern Samar, in a small town called Llorente. Unfortunately, we haven't heard anything from our family members and friends from the small town just because of the downed communication lines, and no one has been able to enter the towns because of all the trees and all the different mudslides and etc. around that area. But my prayers goes out to my family, my friends, and everyone in the Philippines has been affected by the storm Yolanda. So CP asked me to come here to talk about the Manny Pacquiao fight against Rios on November 23rd. The same night, one of our friends is also going to be fighting Nuwan Jayakody. Yeah, he's we've known him for 2 years now since he got to the U.S. We sparred with him since the beginning, and finally we're going to talk about Gennady Golovkin, Triple G. His last fight last week was amazing, so we want to break down that fight and see where Gennady's excitement is.
What are your thoughts on that fight?
Well, before we go to the Rios fight, I think it's important to look at Manny Pacquiao's previous fight and Brandon Rios' fight with Alvarado. So both fighters are fighting on the 23rd, and both fighters are coming out of their last losses in their last fights. Manny Pacquiao, more so than Rios, because of his knockout, there's more eyes on Manny Pacquiao's performance. So people would think that the pressure is under Manny Pacquiao right now because of his last knockout with Marquez, which was a big battle. 4 fights. The 4th fight, finally Marquez gets his final hurrah in his boxing career. With his fight with Marquez, a lot of people who have been following Pacquiao have almost expected Pacquiao to retire because of that knockout. I'm a true fan, so I think that Pacquiao was amazing in that fight. His footwork was there. Because of his performance with Bradley, which I thought he won. A lot of people think he won. He was a little more aggressive than usual, and it didn't help that he hurt Marquez. That last round, he hurt Marquez in the beginning of that round.
Our co-host, Park from Bethesda. So Park, tell us what do you think? What do you think is going to happen between Pacquiao and Brandon? These are guys who like to fight. They like to go for it. So they're fighting in Macau 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on the fight.
Yeah, well, you know what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, tell me. Tell the friends. I like that. Who's gonna do that, Pacquiao or Brandon? Who's gonna do it?
Know.
But you threw it right, so it's Brandon who's gonna do it right. Pacquiao's lefty.
But Brandon doesn't throw straight punches.
Oh, okay. So, take us through the fight. Like, just give us, the guys who are going to be watching the fight, based on what Pacquiao has done and what Brandon has done. As a guy who is involved in martial arts, just tell us what you think might happen in the fight, how these guys might approach it.
Okay, so Brandon and Pacquiao, it's an exciting fight. You have 2 different styles. Brandon Rios is more of an inside fighter, and Pacquiao likes to come in and out. So it's gonna make for an exciting fight for sure. We seem to have some fans outside, but
I think they're on Brandon's side.
yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think so. This is not Macau, man. This is not Asia.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Brandon brings in a different game
Dimension
that
to the fight.
different dimension that Pacquiao isn't really used to. He's not a fighter like Marquez who waits to counter, but he's more so of an inside fighter. He likes to throw combinations on the inside. So there are a lot of factors that actually play. There are a lot of aspects that play that factor into the outcome of the fight. For instance, you're gonna have the ring size is a big factor for the fight actually.
How is the factor? Because do you know what size they're gonna use?
No, I don't know what size they're gonna use, but Brandon wants the ring to be as small as possible, and Pacquiao wants the ring to be as big as possible.
About his last
Brandon Rios, see, he's the fighter. You know, he's that I'll go in there, kind of like the kamikaze of boxing.
The Mexican warrior.
Yeah, the Mexican warrior. You know, the Chavez Senior, the Barrero, the Morales. He's that guy that incorporates all that with the attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like Chavez Senior, Barrera, Morales, Marquez. They have that Mexican, you know, the fighting will. But Rios adds attitude to that. You know, that's why he brings exciting fights.
That's his American part.
Yeah. but Brandon Rios with his fight against Alvarado, I saw a lot of flaws in his skill. Unlike Manny Pacquiao, a lot of people would probably say, you know, Pacquiao was horrible because he got knocked out. A knockout is part of the game, you know.
Yes.
Up to that point, Pacquiao was winning in each scorecard, which meant that, and he broke Marquez's nose. So in that alone, if you take the knockout away from that fight, Pacquiao was doing really well.
So, Brandon likes to fight on the inside. He's not a fighter like Marquez who waits for the counter. He more so likes to stay on the inside and just bang, right? But there's still some technical aspect to his game. Yeah, because he's trained by former world champion Robert Garcia, and Robert Garcia's father. So, and Robert Garcia's father was the former trainer of what was his name? I don't recall his name.
We'll go back to him.
Yeah, but Fernando Vargas. Fernando Vargas. Yeah, Fernando Vargas. So I mean, basically, Brandon Rios has two trainers in his corner, two world-class trainers in his corner, and Robert Garcia is on a roll right now, with Nonito Donaire and Mikey Garcia, who's actually fighting tonight, and we're gonna be doing the commentary for you guys.
So both guys know Nito and Garcia fighting.
Yeah, they're both fighting tonight.
Yeah.
So it's a big night for Robert Garcia.
So they can check the commentary today, you know, different reference and all different.
Yeah. So tune in. We're gonna be doing a commentary, play-by-play, live commentary for both of those fights.
Their training this time around is going to be a lot different. What really worries me about trying to get away from that Mayweather question, but what really worries me about the Brandon Rios fight is the lack of one of their Manny Pacquiao's trainers, Alex Ariza. So this is the first fight that Manny Pacquiao is going to be in, where Alex Ariza is not going to be present.
I think he's in the corner of one of the guys fighting tonight.
Yes. No, he's gonna be in Brandon Reese's corner on the 23rd.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So that's
I
why
didn't know that.
that's where the drama came
You're
in.
kidding me.
Yeah. Alex Ariza is gonna be. It's a very dramatic.
I didn't know
I guess. This whole experience is dramatic.
Was that
in
like
regards to-
vengeance for him to go there?
It's most likely. It was.
So coincidental.
Alex Ariza left in a bad note. He never got along with Freddie Roach,
Freddie, yeah.
and Manny Pacquiao felt his allegiance with Freddie. And I think Alex felt that he was betrayed by Manny Pacquiao when because Manny Pacquiao didn't really have a problem with Alex.
He has
It was
no
more
problem
so.
with nobody. He has no problem with Mayweather
Except for
too.
yeah. So he's he's probably trying to get back on the wild card gym by
It's not
going
gonna work though. That's the wrong person trying to get back. It's not gonna work.
So Brandon Rios has that going for him. He has Alex Ariza at his corner, but the Manny Pacquiao's current conditioning coach, that Filipino guy from Baguio, Philippines, he's a good coach. He's a really smart trainer too. As you can see in the Pravovnikov fight, he was in Pravovnikov's corner, and Pravovnikov.
Is he his trainer?
Yes, and then as you probably have seen, Pravovnikov beat Alvarado, which is a great fighter. Who was the one who beat Brandon Rios? So this guy has some great skills. His experience is not as well known as Alex Ariza, but who knew Alex Ariza before Manny Pacquiao anyway? So right now I'm really excited for this fight.
Only his girlfriend.
Yeah, so I'm really excited with this fight. So looking forward to it.
Okay, let's wrap up the Pacquiao thing. Your predictions of the fight.
Okay, so my predictions. I know I'm probably gonna contradict myself from everything I've said.
Okay.
It's gonna be a good fight. I see the fight ending in the later rounds with Manny Pacquiao with a TKO victory or an early stoppage. So.
Okay, so let's wait for the 23 and see if G knows what he's talking about.
I'm saying probably the 10th level.
So Pacquiao and Rios, I would say 75-25.
And who is 75 each one?
Pacquiao is 75. Because if it goes the distance to all 12 rounds, Pacquiao's just he's gonna win on points. And Brandon has never been knocked down before in his career, so it's gonna be tough to knock out Brandon Rios. I mean, he is coming up in weight, but they're about the same size. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting.
So DMV Sports and Show fans, we are holding him to his word. He says 75% Pacquiao is gonna win, 25% Rios is gonna win. He's coming back after the fight. We might be together here for the fight, so let's hold him to it.
Now we're going to talk about Gennady Golovkin's fight with Curtis Stephens last weekend. So Curtis Stephens is a great power puncher. He's a knockout artist. So is Gennady Golovkin. That's why they had to make this fight happen. I was actually a big fan of Curtis Stephens. He was that journeyman fighter. Lost a couple fights early in his career, but came back and just was dominating. I love him because he's a 5'7" fighter who went up to 175. So he was, he's one of those short, stocky fighters that can just knock you out, like Mike Tyson type of fighter. But he's a little more reserved. When I saw him fight Gennady, the one thing that I saw that usually don't see when I see Curtis Stephens fight is that he was a little stiff. You even saw it in his footwork. He did this weird thing where he would stick his foot out, stick it back in, stick a foot. Like I was a little bit uncomfortable with how he fought.
All right, well, Triple G. I mean, this guy is a terror. This guy is from Kazakhstan. I think of Russian descent, but he is a monster. I mean, this guy. Nobody near his weight class possesses the power, the knockout power that he possesses. And he has an extensive amateur background. I believe he has about 375 fights in the amateurs and a total of over 400 fights. I mean, I don't know. I've never heard of a boxer who's had over 400 fights.
Willie Pap.
All right, Willie Pap, your favorite fighter.
Willie Pap.
Yeah, your favorite fighter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of Muay Thai fighters have
They do that.
Over 400, 500 fights.
Well, right before the Curtis Stephens fight, he fought
The
again.
Irish guy.
No, not the Irish guy. He fought another guy.
Buckley.
No. It was I think Salido or something. But You guys can post on the blog and see and tell me who it was. But he's another journeyman fighter with all the tattoos. I'm forgetting his name. But he did really well against Gennady. But I mean, Gennady ended up beating him. But he did really well against Gennady. And actually, I can't believe I forgot his name. I'm a big fan of his also. I think it's Salido. I'm not quite sure. Again, you guys can correct me. But you know, Gennady has been hit before. The only thing is he hasn't. I think the biggest thing right now is he needs to step up in his competition.
Yeah, his competition is also weak.
Well, the thing, they're all journeyman fighters. So he's fighting guys who are dangerous. The only thing is he needs to step up in a different. He needs to step up with like the pound for pound fighters now. You know, the Sergio Martinez, the Andre Wards, the Chavez Juniors. They might be a little heavier, but you know, if he steps up and fights those guys, then we're gonna see how good Gennady Golovkin is really.
I think also what would make a great fight with Golovkin is Andre Ward.
Yeah.
Andre Ward is an exceptional fighter. So Andre Ward, I think he has a chance to beat Golovkin.
That would be a tough fight for Golovkin.
Yeah, because Andre Ward likes to move a
the
lot.
styles are too different.
Yeah.
I don't see it working very well for Golovkin.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what are your last thoughts on that?
I mean, you're gonna have to watch out for Golovkin. Actually, just today, Golovkin signed to fight Martin Murray, who I believe Sergio Martinez beat. So I don't think that's gonna be an exciting fight, but yeah, Golovkin he's just gonna steamroll through all the competition until he meets someone like Andre Ward or Martinez or Floyd Mayweather. But I don't think Floyd wants to deal with Golovkin's power. No.
Well, lastly, what do you think Golovkin and the kid who just fought Floyd? He can go up, over.
Canelo?
Yeah.
Actually, they're good friends. They're sparring partners.
I saw
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna fight, and it's not gonna do them any good for their careers, right? Because one guy's gonna have to lose, and it's not a good look for their career. So.
Yeah, and I think he's too young to really go into those kind of deep waters offers.
Yeah.
He needs to, after the Floyd fight, he needs to restart and really regroup again.
Yeah, but it's gonna be hard because once you reach the top, the only way to go is down.
That's why I prefer
It's
staying
gonna be
down.
hard to bring it back up because it's tough. It's a tough game, you know, and yeah, that fight didn't go the way that I thought it would. Canelo actually continued to throw. He didn't adapt because he continued to throw power shots, but he wasn't catching Floyd with his power shots. So if you continually throw power shots, and you're not catching a guy, you have to use speed. You have to ease up on some of the power and use speed, use feints, use footwork. So Canelo, he didn't really adapt his, through the later rounds, which kind of hurt him. So, but Floyd fought a beautiful fight. I mean, that was a tremendous performance.
So just quickly wrap up, before we go to the commentary, your last words to the fans.
Yeah. So I wish I could tell you guys the next time I'm fighting, but I'm not sure. I'm caught up with school right now, so I haven't had that much time to train. But I should be having a fight sometime soon, so be on the lookout. I compete simultaneously in boxing and Muay Thai, so yeah, I'll let you guys know when I have my next fight. But thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, it's a pleasure for me to be here and talk to you guys.
Okay, so good luck with the next fight, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
CP for sure, man. Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, finally we're gonna be talking about one of our favorite fighters. He's a local fighter. His name is Nuwan Jayakody. He fights out of Washington D.C. at 135 pounds, And Nuwan originally came from Sri Lanka, and he had a vast amateur career there and a very successful one at it. He came to the U.S. To have a brief amateur career and then turn pro just last year. Me and CP here have been training with Nuwan since he got here for a little over almost 2 years now, and we've been sparring with him. Very talented fighter. Now he's just looking for to build his career, build his stats up so that he can fight the higher level guys. So.
That's him on the screen right
Yeah.
now.
So he's here. Good looking guy, right?
Yeah.
So he's here right now. This is his fight in New York that he had, I believe, a month ago. Unfortunately, he was unsuccessful in that fight, but he's still young. He's still learning. He has a lot going for him, and we really can't wait for him to move up in talent. He has a fight coming up the 23rd, the same night that Manny Pacquiao is fighting. So if you don't have your money to pay for those pay-per-view fights, go to Nuwan's fight. So again, we're looking forward to Nuwan's fight coming up.
Yeah, the first time I met him, I called him the Sri Lankan tiger. Anyway, so we have known the kid for a while. We do spar with him, so we have like first-hand knowledge of Nuwan. Let's quickly talk about from the first day we saw him up to now. What changes have you seen, or comparing to when you first knew Nuwan and to now? What are things that you like and you did not like?
Okay, the thing with Nuwan is he was an amateur boxer. He was successful in amateur boxing, and you see it in his style. When he gets in the ring as a pro. A lot of the amateur boxers, they struggle with becoming pros.
Yeah.
Because the styles is a totally different fighting style. A guy like Gennady Golovkin, like the one we spoke about earlier, Gennady Golovkin had the same problem. I thought that his style in amateur boxing was more of a professional style, which is the reason why when he transferred into the professional style, it was an easier I guess movement transition to the different level. But now with Nuwan, it's the opposite. I think I'm not saying he's struggling with it. He is still learning to learn the professional style, and a lot of it has to do with getting that killer instinct. The more fights he's been going to, the better he's getting, which is a really great positive. And he's just a talented fighter. He's a very talented fighter.
Yeah.
And he has controlled aggression that reminds me a lot of what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. Matisse. There we go. He reminds me of a Sri Lankan Matisse.
Sri Lankan Matisse.
So he has a lot of power. As you know, when he first fought me and CP, when we first sparred together, that power is evident.
Yeah,
I'm a heavyweight, and I still shriek a little bit whenever he punches my stomach. He is a good fighter. I can't wait until he finally transitioned to the professional boxing fighter. I'm just waiting for him to get that killer instinct, which Randolph Kennedy is his trainer. Great trainer. He trains out of the UFC boxing gym, and Randolph is giving him the guidance and the skills needed to be successful in the boxing career. I have a feeling that Nuwan is going to be one of those professional boxers that struggle a little bit, but something's going to click. Something's just going to click where he's just going to get one win after another. And I'm waiting for that moment, and I think it's going to happen soon. His last fight, he from what I heard, I wasn't there to see it. It was in Washington D.C. I heard that he was winning the fight, but the decision was a draw. So right now, he's improving. So the next fight's gotta be a win.
Okay.
So he needs this next fight, and there's no doubt in my mind that he is gonna win this next fight. So I'm looking forward to that fight. Unfortunately, because of the scheduling issues with Manny Pacquiao's fight, I won't be there watching it. But I heard that there are people who are going to be videotaping, and I do want to see the improvements that are evident in his previous fights.
We've come to the end of our show for this week. So give us your closing arguments about everything that we have talked, and also I guess I just wish the people in Philippines they can recover soon, and
Yes.
let's hopefully they have a better future. And so you can close the show. And
Okay, thank you again, CP, for inviting me to the DMV Sports Zone. There's a lot of great fights before the end of the year. There's Nonito Donato fighting tonight with, and also Mikey Garcia's fighting. Gennady Golovkin is, I think, going to fight before the end of the year. And obviously the Manny Pacquiao. Brandon Rios fight in Macau is going to be a record-breaking fight, I believe, not only in the attendance but in pay-per-view views. I know the Mayweather Alvarez fight was there was a big hype behind that fight, and they broke records. They even broke the Oscar De La Hoya Mayweather record. But when it comes to attendance, I think the Mayweather fight, because of how the amount of people that is in the Asian community has so much support for Manny Pacquiao. I think they're going to be really successful business-wise when it comes to this fight. So there are a lot of good fights coming up, and it's good to see the boxing community come together and bring this really entertaining fights for us. Because we've experienced a couple of years where we really saw fights that we really didn't want to see. But now I'm excited about this fights coming up. So
okay.
peace.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Yeah.